Well, here we go. Welcome back to the channel as we see Plymouth Argyle return to action away at Port Vale after the international break. Games before the international break were certainly not positive. We had a very negative run of results, very negative run of performances, and I think it's fair to say that everybody's on fairly thin ice at the moment. Derek Adams coming in as director of football over the international break. Fan base seemed pretty split on it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of Derek coming back. I can see why we've done it. I think having someone who can give us a bit of stability, having someone who can give us a bit of toughness and a bit of a sounding board for whoever the coach is going to be, I can understand the reasoning behind it, as I say. Tom Cleverley, I do think, is on very thin ice. I think the clubs see him as a long-term future, and I think Derek Adams coming in certainly guarantees that he'll be getting at least a few more games. For me, I think you're looking at today being a very, very important one if you're Tom Cleverley, away against a team barely above us in the table, a team I think where the fan base who think is very much the same level of their team as we do with ours. And I think the team, when you look at it, is a bit of a bizarre one. It seems like a 3-4-3, but either Galloway or Such playing as a wing-back. I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't think it gives us as much going forward as we need. Cleverley is very focused on defensive solidity, and I do get it, but for me, I'd much rather us go with the old Schumacher approach. If you score 2, well, we'll go and score 3. I hope to see a bit of creativity. Dale and Mumba seem to be the two who are playing further forward with Talai. I like that McCabe is playing in midfield. It does concern me when he's in two-man midfield. I don't think he gives us the same level of combativeness, the same level of off-the-ball work that we might get with someone else in there. And I think he's much better just as a base of a 3. But we'll see how we go today. I can't expect a huge amount in terms of quality from the game. I know Port Vale are pretty porous at the back, just as we are, so it might well be that there's chances. It might well be that it's two teams trying to avoid losing the game. I think it will be for the first 20 minutes or so. Just two sides very cautious. Hopefully an early goal can help to kick the game into life a little bit. We'll see how we go. Like I say, I'm not holding huge hopes in this one. If I had to make a prediction at the start, I'm leaning towards Port Vale. I just don't see us having the creativity to unlock anybody at the moment. But we'll see how the game goes. Hopefully we'll be ending the video much more positive than we are starting. Both teams huddling up and ready to go. I wonder quite what the words will be on both of those sides of this lot are awful. We've got a chance of winning this game. We just need a really fast start in this one, I think. God, that Port Vale kit is bizarre. I don't like it. I don't mind kits not having sponsors, but it just looks really out of place, I think. Oh, McCabe with a nice turn, but gives it away. Shot early. It's not going to trouble us. Port Vale have won 6 of their last 7 league games against us, keeping 5 clean sheets. That bodes well. At least the one game that we won was the important one. Hazard as captain again today. I'm not a huge fan of keepers being captain. Not sure we've got a captain in our side really, but we'll take up to Mumba. He's not got much support. He'll win us a corner though. Port Vale will get first corner. It's out to Mumba, who's completely missed the ball, attempting the volley. And we send it back to start again. Another long ball from Hazard. Seems to be the order of the day, long balls. When Port Vale aren't going to press massively up in our third, don't see why we can't try and play out and draw them out a little bit. Mumba's header not great, allows Port Vale to clear their lines and get us under a bit of pressure. Mumba just hooks it over his shoulder. Oh, ball over the top, and Port Vale might get on the end of that, but no, Hazard just about gets there. Play this one in towards the box. High line, good 7 or 8 yards outside the box. It's towards the far post. Hazard comes out. He punches it when he's under no pressure at all, and it's out for a Vale throw-in. Don't know why he couldn't catch that ball. There was no one within a couple of yards of him. First 10 minutes, very little's happened in this game. Not really any chances. Mumba's had one shot that's been deflected for a corner. Vale haven't really created anything either. Long ball into a big crowd of players. I think we're going to get quite a lot of that today. I can't imagine we're going to see lots of flowing football. McCabe played it back to Mitchell, who just swung a foot at it. It's better as Ross takes a touch and brings it forward. Is it to Dale? He's got a couple of players up with him. Cuts it back. It almost gets through to Barley Mumba. The Vale player just cut that out. It was very close to sneaking through. That almost certainly would have been 1-0 if it had. Positive. Ross just looking to bring the ball forward there. Setting Dale through for a chance to play a ball into the box. A little bit of a period of a chance to attack. Nothing obvious created, but if that ball had snuck through to Mumba, that would have been a very good chance. Then all within the 6-yard box. The Vale player gets there first. Cross comes in. It's a decent one. There's a header and it's just wide. That's twice they've managed to get headers off us. Both off target, but that one was certainly closer than the first one. A little bit concerning. Out jumped Cornell Such really. A little bit of a hand on him, but I think if that had snuck inside on target, that was going in. I don't think Hazard was getting there from that range. We win the second ball. Ball comes down the line towards Talai. Defender nearly makes a mess of it. It will be... It is a goal kick. He falls in the mud on his way. There's quite a wet, muddy patch outside the pitch there. He had a swing at it and just jammed his toe into the ground, really. Not too sure why he didn't just step across that ball, because Talai was never going to get there if he did. You can certainly see there's a lack of quality from this Port Vale side so far. They haven't really threatened us outside of those two headers. As Connor Hazard slices a kick out of play again. Hazard's having a go at one of his defenders, but it's not one of the defenders who kicked it out. I know he's left-footed and he played it with his right, but as a keeper you've got to be able to kick with both feet to some degree. You can see what we've said about counter-attacks from Vale. They're looking to a little bit. They're not really charging forward. But they're not particularly a side that is going to have lots of possession, you would think. As I said at the start, two teams being quite cautious the first 20 minutes. Those 20 minutes are through now, so we'll see who steps it up. Hopefully we can take control of the game. It's that control in midfield that I'm not sure we'll have. They've got 3 in that midfield area, we've got 2, so you would think that will be advantage Vale. It's the long ball that it's then Talai chase. It's not so much a long ball to Talai, it's more a long ball into the channel or a long ball over the defence. But just get him chasing them. Which is definitely a better way for Talai. I think if you're just playing long balls for him to just back into a defender and win a header, you're not going to get too far. As Mumba passes it out of play again. I think if we're going to get anything out of this game, it's going to come from something Laurent Talai does. It's the problem, we just make that little mistake in a poor pass or a poor touch. We still got the ball though, so it's not the end of the world. But that's an awful pass. It's given away. Port Vale push forward. That's an equally awful pass as well. We just squirted it into the middle in between players and they were able to capitalise, but they tried to play a through ball, hit it twice as hard as they needed to. Bit of a let off there, you'd say. That's to whip a ball in towards Dale. There's a collision with the keeper and I thought that was headed goalwards, but it's not. It was spinning away. Galloway has it on the left though. Oh, Boateng tried to feed it into Dale, but out of his reach and it's through to the keeper. There was a little bit of quality there. It's Barley Mumble with a nice turn and then was able to release us. Talking of quality, Port Vale just lump a ball over the top straight through to Connor Hazard. So I think it's safe to say that if we lose to this lot, we would be in very, very serious trouble. Because they look to have absolutely nothing. Much like us. They'll look for the big switch. That's a very poor header from Such. And now they've got a chance for a ball in behind. They've got players in the box. Oh! That was right through. Cole just needed to touch it and he completely missed it. A very poor header from Such. Nearly let them in for a goal there. They've still got it. The ball comes in but Hazard will claim it easily. We've absolutely got away with one there. They went for a big switch. Such just headed it straight down to their midfielder. They slotted a ball right in between him and the centre-back. And we are very lucky. I think there was a little bit of pressure on Cole there from one of our defenders covering him back. But that should have been 1-0 to Vale. There was that defensive error that we are so intent on making. I think the referee's done a pretty solid job of the game so far. Not had any big decisions to make, but letting them play, which is good. Played a couple of good advantages. Out for a Vale throw-in though. It's another chance for a long throw into the box. And this is the kind of time that we tend to let teams get on top of us a little bit. It's these last 15 minutes of the first half. This is where it went wrong against Huddersfield, really, that we just let them start to come on to us. We conceded just before half-time. We've certainly got to stay solid here, considering we've given away a couple of headed chances, but that's straight to one of our players. Doesn't head it very far. It's headed back down and it's cleared by Mitchell. It looked like it might fall for their player, but he's offside anyway. If you can hear some strange noises, it is just my cat playing with one of his favourite toys down there. And as you can see, charging out the room. It's got catnip in it. Just showed the crowd with some bloke yawning. I don't blame him at the moment. It's not been the most exciting game in the world. It's had its moments, but it's not been particularly enjoyable, this one. As expected. As I said at the start, I wasn't expecting much quality. They all have the ball up in our half now. It's 3 defenders around the lad. So we just about deal with it. There's a bit of a slip there and Vale have a chance here. It's cut across the goal and it's just sent behind by Mitchell. That was not far from an own goal there. If he hadn't touched it, that certainly was going to be 1-0. But just that little slip at the back let their player in to recover the ball. Hazard might have got there to cover it. But Mitchell certainly kept us in there, kept us level in this game there. It's another Port Vale corner. As I said, it's these 15 minutes of the first half that we allow teams to get on top of the game, and I'd say that's where we are at the moment. Port Vale is certainly the team on top at the moment. We've got to make sure that we don't concede before half-time in this game. This is not a side that we should be letting stay on top of us. And there's the half-time whistle. Not an inspiring half of football for either side, you would say. It's 2 sides right down at the bottom of the league, low on confidence, who are certainly not particularly going out there to take risks and open themselves up. Very cautious first half, relatively even. You'd say we had a couple of moments, Port Vale had a couple of moments. They probably had the better opportunities to create chances, even if the chances didn't come. I think it's possibly going to be a long 45 minutes, the second half. Oh well. Well, both sides out for the second half. As I said, first half not especially inspiring, as the commentator has very much let us know. 3 shots for Vale, 1 shot for us. Combined 0.16 XG in that half. Let's hope for a little bit more quality in this half, shall we? Early goal would be nice. Argyle get us underway. Chance on McCabe to drive us forward. He's got Sorinola outside him. He plays it, but hits it a little bit hard. Whips a low cross and Talai! It's 1-0! 18 seconds into the half. 18 seconds into the half. And Argyle are 1 up. Law McCabe with a nice bit of play to push himself forward. Play it out to Sorinola. Low and hard. Talai reacted quickly. Tapped it in. And that is 1-0 to Argyle. Unexpected, I have to say, but very, very welcome. You can see the replay here. Sorinola got it. Just a very quick shift the ball away and play it in. Keeper just about got there. Got there a slight bit too late. Ended up going under and he probably should make that save. But Argyle are 1-0 up very, very quickly in this half. But now Port Vale are going to have to start to come at us a little bit. whether that's going to open up the game or whether we're just going to end up sitting back and praying that we don't concede. If it can be, if it's anything like the Wimbledon game where we were a goal up fairly early and we just sat back and sat back and sat back, it's not going to be a particularly positive half, you would say. But if we can push on and look to get a second, you'd like to think that would kill the game. That's what I would absolutely do, is really look to push on. They're a side low on confidence. They don't have a good home record. If we can push on now and get a second in the next 10 minutes or so, that's going to kill off the game, and then we can just ride it out by trying to hold on to the ball. But if we let them come at us, they're going to create chances, and we do concede. So Argyle fans chanting, "We are staying up." Not something we'd have expected when Mr. Hallett said we were finishing second in the league. It's nice to hear another set of fans chanting about how poor their manager's football is. Argyle trying to fit Lawrence Talai into Zombie, but I'm not sure Talai quite fits in there. Chance for a ball in the box, but again Dale covers it well, and if he just plays a better pass there, that's an opportunity. He gets a shot away, but it's not a good one. It's gone for a corner. I think if he played a better pass into him, he's probably getting a shot on target there. It was just almost cut back to someone with his back to goal who wasn't going to get anywhere himself, but a little bit more awareness, and that's a good chance for Vale. Saying that, they've got a corner, so ball comes in, it's headed away, chance to hit one, and well, it's passed back out to the taker, who was offside. I don't think it was intended as a pass. That's how bad that effort was. Dale turns out of play. Owen Dale baffles me sometimes. Went for the big turn and just played it straight out of play. Argyle fans with a "we're winning away" chant. I think "we're winning a game" is possibly just as accurate at the moment. We've only actually had one more point at home than we have on the road this season, so... Oh, how on earth have we allowed them just to march through? It's luckily they don't take advantage of it, but there's a long ball that we just seem to ignore. And they had two players who either one possibly could have got on the end of it. Stockley played a fairly poor pass. Well, it could have been our defence falling asleep there again. Oh gosh. Calling for a foul there, but the header chance comes down, and it's saved by Hazard. Argyle thought there was a foul in there. The cross went deep. It was headed back down to, I think, Patton or Payton it was. Had the hit, but it was comfortable enough for Connor Hazard. Well, that should hopefully be a bit of a wake-up call back there for Argyle. We can't just sit back and invite them on. They will create chances. They've the league's lowest scorers, but they have created chances. It's just that they haven't put them away. That isn't going to stay all the way through. At some point, it's going to level itself out. That's a clever ball in behind the defence there, but no one was following it through, and Hazard claims it. Just hold on to the ball for a second. You can see the replay. The cross came in and Cole headed it down. And yeah, it wasn't a great effort. It wasn't an easy height to hit. He could well have, if he had the chance to take it down and place that into the corner, that would certainly have been level. But as I say, a bit of a wake-up call. We've got to make sure we're pushing out and stopping these crosses, because that's where they're going to create. If they're going to score, it's going to be from a cross, you would think, or a corner. I'd imagine there'll be a few. Cole plays it through for Payton again, and Payton hits it straight at Hazard. Two fairly good opportunities to level the game have gone begging now. Payton's shot was from the outside of the box because he had a player who was going to stop him from getting any further. But as I say, a bit of a wake-up call for us. We do come forward now, though. Sorinola with it. Just waiting for support down the line. And he's played a nice little 1-2. Sorinola hits one. Keeper with a good save. Not likely to go for a corner, so we just play it back. After Galloway made that tackle, he was looking a bit uncomfortable. Joe Rawls looks ready to come on, so it'd be good to see what he's got. Certainly had a positive review from a lot of Cardiff fans that spoke about him online. Whether he's still got enough in his locker, we don't know. He's coming on for Owen Dale by the looks of it. So it's probably a change of shape. You assume that's going to be Rawls, Boateng and McCabe making a midfield three. So is that just going to be a 5-3-2 or a 5-4-1 potentially? Or Benarous coming on as well by the looks of it. It'd be nice to have him back. Galloway coming off. So Benarous in at left wing back, you would assume, with your back three of Ross, Mitchell and Such. Then got Sorinola out there on the right, and then you'd assume it will be a bit of a 5-3-2. And now Argyle have it pushing forward out to Sorinola. Under a bit of pressure, but he's into the box, tries to cut it back, and this could be two. It's blocked, but Talai will get there. He's knocked down. It's not likely to be a penalty though, and Vale clear. Aaron Moore's got to be standing there wondering what he's got to do. They've had a few good chances to score, they just haven't been able to take them. Had a couple of decent opportunities to get shots in the first half, but this ball just sneaking through players or just not quite finding their target. Sorino looks to play a ball in behind, but it's nowhere near where he was aiming for, you would expect. Argyle cut it out well. Boateng with the turn, plays it to Talai. Rawls is waiting for Sorinola to get down the line, but he is just jogging. So Rawls hits one. Sorinola looking a little bit out on his feet there. If he was bombing down that line, that would have been a great opportunity to play it down and get a cross in, but as it was, he wasn't able to do it. But we're going to see some Joe Edwards here by the looks of it. Will it be Sorinola coming off, you presume? It is Sorinola coming off. Just ticked over the 80-minute mark. It's not been pretty. Oh, just everyone just ducks under that, and Boateng gets there. He's got players coming into the box. Cross with his left, but it's over everyone. Mumba should... No, he won't quite get there. Free kick in a dangerous position now. An Argyle player down after that ball was played, but nothing given. This one is just around the corner of the box, over on Vale's right hand side. Prime chance to get a ball in for a good headed position. They've got players over at the far post by the looks of it. Yes, we've got ourselves organised now. 3 men in the wall. You'd assume far post and knocked across. I think he tried to hit that, and it's straight into the wall. If we do hold on here, it'll be very much one of those not pretty, but at least we managed to get 3 points wins. Jamie Patterson coming on for Argyle. Doesn't quite seem the type of player to bring on at this point, but I suppose it wastes a bit of time anyway. Some will come on. It will be for Benarous. Benarous comes back to Argyle after an injury, and he's off after about 15 minutes, which is not good to see. He's looking quite frustrated as he comes off. 8 minutes have been added on. We did say it was going to be 6-7. That wasn't on purpose. We've managed to weather the storm fairly well so far, but you can certainly see a chance coming. Ball comes in, and oh, how has he missed that? That is awful. Devante Cole again. What a glorious opportunity. He rose well above everyone else. And that should have been a simple goal. 6 yards away. To be fair, he rose a little bit too high. He was always having to head it down, but he just never got the contact on it properly. And that would have been the chance, I think. That was the chance. There's still 5 minutes to go. You never know, there could be more, but that was certainly the opportunity for Devante Cole and Port Vale. Cross goes deep. Headed a little bit further back. Cole knocks it back and he's hit it. Oh, it's straight at Connor Hazard. The number of times that's happened. Is that Payton again? That is. Payton's had 3 chances to get Vale level, and every time he's not managed to direct it properly. Either side of Connor Hazard, and that's a goal. They're chanting off, 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 but they're not showing any of what's going on. Is Lawrence alive? The referee doesn't look like there's a card anywhere near coming out, luckily. No, we certainly couldn't do with missing Lawrence alive for a game. 1.5 minutes to go. It looks likely that this is going to be our game now. And I think we'll come away from it with a bit of a sense of relief. Because this hasn't been a convincing victory by any stretch of the imagination. They need to just get the ball forward, really. Oh, and he draws the foul from Edwards. It'll be a free kick just inside the Vale half. And this will be the chance to get everybody forward. I'm not sure why it's not the keeper sending this forward. Edwards gets the booking. Towards the goal. It's not going to go too far. Vale head it on, but it's headed away. And it will be a Vale throw. So the 8 minutes are up, and that is the final whistle. And Argyle have broken their string of bad results with safe to say, a scrappy victory here at Port Vale. But any points that we get at the moment we'll take. It certainly wasn't pretty. I wouldn't say there's much quality about it whatsoever. And I think, to be honest, Vale should have got back into it and should have scored at least one in there at the end. But ultimately we did what we had to do to come away with a win. Whether it's enough to turn it around or whether it is just that we've beaten the one team that's slightly worse than we are, I don't know. But a win's a win. We're off the bottom of the table for now. Hopefully it gives us an opportunity to push forward and start picking up a few more points. We're on to a few home games in a row next, so that's got to be a boost for us. Still a big game at home on Saturday against Northampton. That's a game that we've got to be looking to come out and be a bit more positive, try to pick up another 3 points and try to start getting ourselves out of this situation. But a win's a win and we'll certainly take it. Come on, you Greens.